Well, happy Halloween, and I'm gonna deliver a little trick for you guys this Halloween by talking about this piece of garbage movie. Yeah, I guarantee you guys barely remember this movie because I sure as heck barely remember this movie until I rewatched it, let alone even hear about this movie. Like, I straight up remember nothing about this movie until I rewatched it, let alone the fact that it came out last year in like April. And you know what? I decided, screw it. I'm gonna review a bad horror movie. Sue me. So you get a trick versus a treat of a horror movie. And in all honesty, if you want to watch this one, go ahead. You're just gonna remember nothing. So just like the movie, it has a lot of premise. Not premise. It has a lot of promise to be something unique or at least interesting, but it fails to deliver that. So I'm going to show as little effort in this video and this review as much as I can and just give you a handful of why this movie just overall is so bad to me. On top of it being another Blumhouse stinkers, I mean, the fact that it just is produced by Blumhouse just tells you everything you need to know about it from the get-go. I mean, this is just the most generic movies I think I've seen in a while, and that's saying a lot. Sorry, there's something on my pants here. I don't know what I was stepping in there. See, I'm already distracted because I cannot focus on this movie anymore. It is so bafflingly just bad in terms of its execution. So the fact that it's made by Blumhouse already just tells you a lot. This movie is just the most average Blumhouse movie, except it's in some ways, I will admit, now I've seen some terrible horror movies. Like there's Truth or Dare, there's Ouija, there's oh man, I know they made a plenty of others. Obviously there's the Halloween Kills and Ends series, which I've already reviewed, and The Exorcist Believer. This movie and Night Swim that came out also the same year as this movie, or it came out this year. I barely actually know that was Wolfman, another mid Blumhouse movie, but this one, oh man, I think what makes me mad about this one in particular is the fact that there is something that could have been interesting with this movie. First, let me just start off by listing some of the positives in this movie. Pros. It has a good premise. I think I've already gotten that out of the way. But another thing, the third act, as incoherent and as dumb as it is, I will be honest, there is some really cool imagery there. It kind of reminds me of Tim Burton, old claymation type of stuff. It's really unique in terms of the finale being visually interesting, but not much else. I will be honest, I didn't expect, there is a twist in this movie. I won't spoil it. Maybe. I don't know if I should spoil it or not. But there is a twist in this movie that I didn't really expect, so it did kind of shock me. It's not a memorable or great twist by any means of the stretch, but it's at least something that interesting that happens in this movie where I was like, oh, okay, sure, why not? It's far more interesting than what they built up so far. Might as well have something in this movie. But that's really about most of the positives I can even give this movie, because otherwise the characters are forgettable. Most of the lines that the characters give are just straight up like unnatural and bad in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not an actor by any means. I mean, I barely act. I don't even act at all. But you're telling me that these people that have been known to act don't have any type of emoting in this movie. I don't know. I don't know if it's the way they directed it, if the story, if I was just bored, I don't know. But there was just something about half the dialogue in this movie that just made me go, oh my god, this is just hard to watch. And there's just a handful of cringy scenes. Like on top of that, there's just this weird moment where a kid, like a non-interesting boy character comes over just to hang out with one of the main female characters, and he's like, hey, you want to do drugs? And he holds up like a bag of pills with, one in his mouth, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so freaking stupid. And it gets even stupider. By the end of that sequence, he ends up getting jump scared by Chauncey, who was in the trailer. And by the way, if you watch the trailer, you already got half the movie. But by the end, when the mom's like chewing out the family, she then goes like, "You stole my allergy pills." I don't know, like that scene was so mad confusing for me. I legitimately paused the movie and just walked away and went outside for a bike ride because I could not fathom the fact that that was a real line, a real moment in the movie. Like nothing makes sense for these characters. It is like, oh my god, I don't know how else to explain it. There's a stupid freaking fly in here. But even that fly is more interesting than the characters. It's annoying the piss out of me, though, that I will admit. And I'd forgive this movie a lot more if it was like a fun bad movie or a movie you could watch and just, you know, completely laugh at it for being dumb and especially from the director of, you know, Truth or Dare. I kind of expected something cheesy, fun, bad, but entertaining nonsense. But the fact that this movie is just so unforgivably boring. There is so much exposition in this movie. It is just... like, there is so much talking. There's a therapist character that's also kind of weird. And maybe that's the enjoyment you get out of this movie, are the weird characters and weird line deliveries. I tried, but I barely remember anything about some of these lines. But I remember there being a therapist character, and she just delivers so much exposition. And the way the movie's structured, too, is just... there is so many things that are just left out in the open. Like there's one of the main characters, I don't even remember her name. But her husband or boyfriend, I don't know, at one point shows up in the movie and then just disappears the rest of the movie. Like he literally just shows up, does a few scenes, and that's it. You hear nothing about this character. I guess he goes to like a festival or something. I tried to pay attention to this movie. I gave this movie the benefit of the doubt because before you criticize me, like, if some of these were answered in the movie and I just completely, you know, forgot about it or just wasn't paying attention, it's true. I was trying so hard to pay attention to this movie. Granted, I watched this after a shift at work just for, hey, let's just see where this movie goes. And I damn near fell asleep. This movie had... and I'm not like some typical, you know, Marvel fanboy that expects action every 10 seconds, but something, anything. I mean, I've watched plenty of interesting horror movies. I mean, The Lighthouse is interesting. Truth or Dare, as bad as that movie is, at least there was something entertaining with how bad it is. So it kept me at least engaged to see where something silly like this could go. And this movie has an interesting premise to where I was like engaged to see like, okay, where is this going again? Because I only watched this 2 times in my life. Once on a streaming site and then completely forgot all about it. I wanted to do a review on it, but then obviously didn't because it was just so forgettable. And then I wanted to do it this year, and even while watching the movie this year, I completely forgot about it. That's it. I have barely any remembrance in this film. It is just shocking to me the fact that a film like this was advertised, it was released, and I barely remember it. I guarantee you half the people watching my channel, the 2 views that I get on each and every one of my videos, I guarantee you a whole lot of people aren't going to know what this movie is about or even that it exists. And that's what's crazy, is that the second this movie ended, I had no idea what happened. The only interesting thought, visually wise, was that twist, that weird moment with the kid, that pretended his mom's allergy drugs were pills or something, and the ending with some very cool visual stuff. That was about it. That's all. And also on top of that, there's a reoccurring nightmare with a spider, and design-wise, it looks pretty cool, but that is my biggest issue with this movie. Visually, it is really cool. It has so many interesting ideas. It could have done something cool, interesting, with a fresh twist, and it's not like a very derivative. It is the most basic film you've ever seen. And that's where I'm going to end it, because I'm showing no effort for this movie, because even the day after watching it, I mean, I even tried taking notes during this movie, but then I seriously thought I fell asleep. I thought I was daydreaming the movie. It is so. Oh, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's really about it. That's all I got for this. I'm not going to show any effort for this review because the movie doesn't show any effort. Why should I show effort for a movie that's this bad and it's so forgettable? So forgettable. I was pissed off at The Exorcist Believer and the Halloween trilogy, but those movies at least held my attention, at least made me remember something about it. Most movies I watch, no matter how stupid, dumb, or bad they are, I at least remember something about it. Even The Conjuring, a movie I barely remember, at least there was a lot I can remember about that movie. This movie, I seriously thought I dreamt the whole thing. That's about it. Like, there's only 3 memorable moments, and I still barely remember the climax. But anyway, watch it, don't watch it. If you're not a big fan of horror movies, I know one person in particular isn't, and thinks that horror movies are scary, I dare you to watch this movie. Because it is not that scary, not in the slightest, and I'm not even like a brave horror movie watcher. I still have to like occasionally plug my ears like this just to mentally prepare for a jump scare. This movie is just not it. And that's why I'm showing little effort in this. But hopefully this Halloween, with the other reviews I'm going to be posting, they're a little bit better.